Hey, it's Fat Brain, Thin Brain, and it's the second episode of 2021. I'm Lewis, and over there in Denmark, that's Natasha, and we're both ready to hit you where it hurts today. We're going to talk about exercise and how to listen to yourself and get the best out of everyday exercise for you.
Get strong.
Hey, and welcome back to Fat Brain, Thin Brain. I'm Lewis, and over there in Denmark, that's Natasha. We are on episode 9, and today we're talking about exercise and what works for us, basically, for my body type and Natasha's body type as well. But first, we'd like to have a quick chat with you before Natasha runs down the synopsis for today about what current situation is in the world. So in the UK, we're on complete full lockdown until possibly the mid of February. So it's very restricted of what we can and can't do on exercise. So if you are going out to do exercise after this, based on what we're talking about, please be COVID safe. Keep the distance between anyone. Don't meet up with people outside of your home bubble and all that. But over to Natasha. She's got restrictions over in Denmark as well, and she'll have a little chat with you about that. But first, Natasha, what's the agenda for today, please?
Hi, Lewis.
Hey!
The agenda, yes, hello, I do exist.
Yeah.
The agenda, and Happy New Year to you, by the way.
Oh, Happy New Year, guys.
I'm not actually sure I said Happy New Year to you yet. The agenda today. So first part, we're going to first talk about finding the right thing. So the thing that you like to do and what motivates you in your fitness and to keep doing your fitness. The second thing is we're just going to run over something about, this thing of mind over matter and listening to your body versus your brain. Because sometimes our brains can take over and go, oh, I can't do this, but yet the body can actually do more. And then to finish us off, last but not least, will be goal setting. Like, do we set goals? Do we achieve them? Do we fail and then go, sod it, I'm going to try something else? And we also are going to do a little hint to the fact that we're doing a steps challenge for January. So we want people to come and join us on Facebook. So we'll talk about that at the end, just so people can catch up. So just check us on Facebook, Fat Brain, Thin Brain. Come and follow us on there. We're doing events all the time. We've done
what a good plug there from a pro there. What a good plug.
Two virtual hikes already, one just after Christmas. We did one to bring in the new year, and now we're doing a steps challenge where we're challenging you every week. And it's nothing, it's not like we're doing prizes or making anyone feel bad. We're all just doing it as a group, just saying, hey, what's your count today, and just trying to cheer people along. It's for fun. Yeah.
So Natasha, I spoke briefly about the lockdown in the UK. What's happening in Denmark at the moment?
In Denmark, right currently now, the next update for us is the 17th of January. We are homeschooling children. All schools are shut down. We're basically, everything's on full lockdown apart from food stores and chemists. So
the same as over here.
Yeah. And obviously there's takeaways. I just had a takeaway tonight. So the takeaways are open. It was Italian.
Oh, it's fine. That's absolutely fine. The Italians are the slimmest people in the world.
So I've got a fat belly of pasta tonight.
That's why she's hiding her belly today, people.
That's
why she's hiding her belly, yeah. But if you would like to see Natasha's belly in all its glory, then head over to the Facebook page as well, Fat Brain, Thin Brain, and you can see us both taking a seasonal dip in the sea and lake, respectfully. How was that for you, Natasha, that New Year's Day dip?
I've got to say, it's not my cup of tea. I'm not sure I'll ever do it again. But some crazy moments, I think I fancy just going down and doing it.
Yeah.
It wasn't enjoyable. It was a real shock to the system, but when I got out the water, it was amazing feeling. So I can understand why people do it, and you felt
it's fantastic,
same, right?
Isn't it? Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Well, Natasha, if you've probably listened to a couple of episodes, we've been Wim Hofing, so she's got the app as well. So she's not gone straight into this blinded or anything, just gone straight in. She's actually been doing cold showers and stuff, so she has acclimatized her body better than most people.
Every day now.
She's absolutely loving it.
I'm 2 minutes now. I finished my hot shower with a cold shower, and I'm 2 minutes in cold water before I get out.
I am a bit of a twonk, so I was in there a bit longer than that she was, and I had a handstand competition with my friend as well. We both drew because we went up the same time, we came down the same time. So all is well, and
So
we
if you
both
want to see
survived,
the
didn't we,
results of
Tasha?
that, get over to Facebook and see us
Get
on
over to
there.
our Facebook page, give us a like on there as well, a follow as well, and we can get some awesome stuff out to you as soon as possible. So let's talk about exercise.
Yeah, so it's about finding the right thing, because I think one of the biggest problems that people have when it comes to fitness and diets, right, is that they try various things, maybe don't like it, or they just think they'll join the gym, and then by the end of January they're like, this is boring. And I think it requires finding the right thing for you. I've been all my life doing all sorts of sports, and I honestly think that in general, our life is about phases. So you'll go through a phase, like you've done a phase of walking, and now you've gone back to mountain biking, or you were mountain biking, now you've walked, and now you're mountain biking again. Yeah, you've done some gymming as well. You like a bit of swimming every now and then, right? And stuff like that. I think it's really good to chop and change and not just say I'm only going to do one thing. I alternate between 3 things. I do climbing, which I can't do right now because I can't climb outside because it's winter and everything's wet and slippery, unless I go somewhere hot and I can't travel. And the gyms are closed.
Shut.
Everything's dead. Yeah. So I can't climb right now, which is a massive bummer for me, because actually I climb 3 times a week. That's my biggest exercise, really, is climbing. And at the climbing gym I'm doing exercise like warm up and cool down before I get on the wall. So and I do yoga and hiking. And the yoga and hiking, thankfully, I still can do that, right?
You can still do, which is
because I can do
great,
it at home. Yeah. So thank God for that.
But the difference between me and you is you started off very young, didn't you, with exercise? We've spoken about before. You used to run a lot, used to do gymnastics, was it, as well? And
I started as a gymnast when I was 7. And
so
then
you've been used to sport from an early age, haven't you? So
gymnastics, horse riding. I used to play for the Fairham Gosport under-16s hockey team. Trampolining, netball. Like, I've tried a lot of sports, right?
Fingers in most vegan pies, so you'd have your fingers in most vegan pies. Whereas I was taekwondo when I was younger. I used to like playing football to a certain degree. And then it was just nothing at all. There'd be nothing in there at all until I picked up on mountain biking in 2012, and then got carried away with it. And then the gym. I never thought I'd love the gym, never thought I'd get addicted to the gym. I did, and I absolutely loved it. So for them to be shut at the moment was a bit of a for me. But that's, like you said, you need to mix things up a bit. So we're doing this step challenge at the moment. So we're asking people to do 50,000 steps this week on week 1. I've already done about 54,000 this week so far already. But I've also mixed it up. So I've done a little walk today. 54 now. So I've done a little ride today, little 8-miler, just to go exploring some bits I've never seen in Portsmouth before. And then I've done a little tiny walk. So it's 6,500 steps today. So but for me, that's absolutely fine. My thighs felt it, everywhere on me felt it. So for me, that's the best thing for me. It's not strenuous, it's not hard on the knees, because as you know, I've got a problem with my knees cycling. Walking in between is now loads better as well. And when I can, I'm going to start going into the sea once a week, maybe twice a week. So but like we say, it's finding what's best for your body type, isn't it? So
I don't know whether it's body type. I think it's what's best for the way you feel. Like you literally, you're going to get bored of doing something if you do the same thing repeatedly over and over again. I get bored of doing. We were talking about it briefly before I started. I started this app called Freeletics. I just simply got bored because it's the same exercises, but they just chop and change it to make it seem different. And they would call it like a different Greek name. It was all named after like Greek gods and things like these, deities and all things like that. But it was all the same. It was all like, push-ups, squats, crunches, but different variations of it, you know, where you had climbers versus mountain climbers just meant you put your foot further up, you know. But it was the same thing. And I just got so bored of just being, okay, it's, you know, it's like it is like you said, it is similar to HIIT. So you're just doing the same kind of exercises, rinse and repeat. And I had amazing results in 15 weeks. I looked brilliant, but I was so bored.
The boredom factor kicked in, didn't it?
I cancelled it because I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I know I look good, but I'm bored, and I just don't. I
know I look good.
No, but you know, I know I look good in a way that it's had a massive effect on my body, because this was after I'd had my second child, so it really helped. But I was just bored. So as soon as I get bored, I don't want to go into it. Yeah,
that's it. It needs to stimulate your brain as well, doesn't it? So what would you recommend for so I've asked a lot of personal trainers what they recommend for someone heavier, like 20 stone plus, or something like that. They all say the same thing: start by walking. So that's what I did. Start by walking, and then because you're walking, you're building up your calf muscles, your leg muscles, your thigh muscles, and things like that. And then you can, when you do jump on, say, another apparatus like a bike or whatever, it's not as hard as it would have been if you started straight on the bike, because the walking has started you off. So would you say the same thing, walking as well?
Yeah, I think walking's very underestimated, like, because it's a really good endurance exercise. So the further you walk, the more your body has to keep working for longer, and the more your body works for longer, the more it will start to really eat into burning calories up in your
really
system.
Does, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's so good. The only thing you've got to be really careful of with doing a lot of long distance walking is the joints. And you've had this because your knee started playing up.
That's it.
Often a lot of people can get problems in the hips, like hip joints starting to ache. Especially with the cold weather right now, that can get affected quite quickly.
Definitely so, yeah. So my physio said yesterday, watching the way I was walking in his little studio thing, I've got a slight pigeon toe happening. So one of my foot likes to do that a lot more than normal. So it likes to come in a little bit. And that's the one where the knee started, the pain started in that knee first. And he said, that's what you're doing. And the other one, it felt like there'd been a trauma there. And then when I look back, me and Lindsay found out that it was a twist I'd done, and that's what, because that one's a lot worse now. But I need to work on my gluteus maximus, which is your bottom muscles.
Yeah, your bum.
He said you work on your bum and your quads, and if you can get, he gave me loads of exercises to try. Yes, but one-legged squats. So we tried that in the studio yesterday. Yeah, so one-legged, because for me it'd be 20 stone on one leg, wouldn't it? So but I could only dip slightly on the right leg because it was so painful. So it's literally just a slight, like that almost. Can you see? Like a real slight dip on each leg, and I've got stuff to do on a chair as well. So I'm going to add them in the morning. So I'm going to do that sort of stuff before I go out and do stuff. So again, even though I'm sat down most of it, I'm still working the muscles that I need to work out.
I think also yoga's quite a good one, because that
we've got
moves
yoga
the
mats on
body. And you can also do things like glute and quads and things like that without putting too much strain on your joints. So you can do stuff, you know, like down on all fours. You can do stuff laying down. So if you get a lot of pain from standing up and lowering your body and raising it, then you can do things actually on the ground.
One of the things he said to try for a yoga position is laying on your back, knees slightly up like that, and then lifting your butt off the floor.
Oh, yeah, they're really good.
Arms down, lifting the butt off the floor as many times as you can.
Yeah, like the pelvic raises.
That's it, yeah. So he said try as many as them. So Lindsay's going to join in as well. It's great if you can have a work partner as well, if you've got a husband, wife, or whatever, to get involved in it as well, because you can help each other out and spur each other on. So this is one of the things that me and Lindsay are going to try and do in our lunch break. So brilliant for me,
we're not any gurus on this, and we're not dietitians.
No, crumbs, no.
But I am studying yoga.
I am a mountain bike guru.
You're a mountain bike guru. I'm a walking guru. I have hiked half of Denmark now, so I guess I could almost say I'm a hiking guru.
Go and check her out at Lloyd-Vest as well, and check out some of the pictures you've been putting on. Absolutely stunning. You'd be blown away. And if you want her to do any sort of projects or something, just talk to me first, and I'll take 20%. Is that all right?
What?
So anyway, yeah. So
Ignore that.
So hiking for you is, and for me as well, out today, it's good to explore different parts. We'd ride past these parts every day, but I'd never go into certain bits.
We've got two different ways there, because I couldn't hike the way you do, because I don't enjoy hiking in the streets. So I need to have nature, or else I'm a big hiking's not for me in the streets. So luckily I live in the countryside, so I've recently found a really good 12-kilometer walk, where it's majority of it is in the forests and across fields, which is just amazeballs, because I can just walk out of my house
and working on that.
Because there's a little bit of incline and down. There's not a lot. I mean, Denmark, it's very flat, so.
And it's a bit more give in the ground as well, isn't it? Because obviously you've got more off-roady sort of terrain. That's the word I'm looking for.
Terrain.
Whereas I'm asphalt and sometimes shingle and sometimes sand.
When I was doing the pilgrim route through Denmark, there was so much asphalt because there's a lot of farmland. I underestimated how much asphalt I would be walking on, and I started getting hip joint problems. Even for me, who I'm not overweight and I do a lot of exercise, even I was getting a lot of hip problems. And I was while camping as well, and I'm sleeping in a hammock, so I'm not in a nice comfy bed, so I had to make sure the next day I could walk again, and it was really causing me a lot of problems. So don't listen, which will actually, sorry, I'm just going to readjust myself here, I'm getting a dead leg.
She is brilliant at leading into the next segment, ladies and gentlemen. She's got it for 2021. Yes.
Okay, segment 2. Listen to your body. So listen to your body if you're getting pains. Don't just keep trying to push through and be a hero. Actually listen to it. Take a break if you need to, or do a different exercise.
So one of the things that Jamie spoke about yesterday, the physio, he said, how many rest days do you have a week? And I said, none really. I'm out walking every day and I cycle most days as well. He said, well, there's your big problem straight away. The body does need, even if you think it's not a massively strenuous walk you've just done, your body needs time to recover. And on some of the apps you can download for free as well, it'll actually tell you like a timetable of how long your body will need to recover from what the amount of calories you just put out, or the amount of energy and kilojoules you've just put out as well. So look at me, kilojoules. Look at me. I know, right? I mean, I've actually taken this a little bit more seriously this year, and I'm actually researching a lot more stuff to do with ins and outs. I told you about a diet plan I wanted to go on. It was called Body Composite or something like that. It's a long story anyway. I sent you the link over, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, yeah. And I got brain ache and said I'm going for a walk.
Again, that's not the greatest of things to do for someone of my size just yet. I need to get down a little bit more before I start doing that. But mind over matter, like your mum said, would be the thing to listen to. So it's one of these things that your brain will tell you can't do it. So I'd have a break from cycling for ages and ages, and then I'll go, right, I really need to get on the bike. And then I'll look at the bike and go, oh, that's really hard. If I have to ride around there, it's all the way over there and this and that. And you start talking yourself out of it without even stepping one foot on the bike. And that's going to happen to all of us. That's going to happen to even when you want to go for a walk. You might go, oh, the weather looks a bit outside. But if you've got the right clothing, the right footwear, that sort of stuff, it's not a problem. Just get out and do it. I still have a buffer now where I can ride my bike, and after 3 to 6 miles, I feel like I've hit the wall. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, I'm fine now. Boom. And then you can do another 10, 20 miles after that. So
I find with walking, I don't ever I don't have a wall. There's no, you just keep going. So, there's just this rhythm with walking. You just keep going.
Yeah.
And
once you get into a decent rhythm and you get going, the only thing that stops me is my toes. My toes and my feet, they get a bit too squished up after a while. So towards like the 10-mile mark, well, the posh ones I bought, the posh ones which we're not going to name, they're terrible. Absolutely terrible. So
Yeah, but
I'm
aren't
wearing.
they trainers? They're not actual hiking.
No, they're the actual waterproof hiking ones, aren't they? They're trail running
Right, okay.
trainers, and I actually done loads of research in them. They're nice and wide at the front, so you've got more room for your bones to move around and stuff. And they've got really good traction, and they're completely waterproof. So on that side of things, fantastic. But they just feel almost like you're walking on Lego. It just feels
No,
bizarre.
it's not.
Whereas my old school Nike Airs, they're just going
Yeah,
through power through. They do. So yeah.
I've
But
got to. I'm going to drop a name. I'm not because I'm sponsored by them, just because I
yeah.
simply love them, and I will keep buying and forever wearing this brand, Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
I just live and
Yeah,
die in Solomons. They
I should
are
have gone for a
amazing.
pair really, instead of going. Oh no, I'll go for the cool
Yeah,
crossover mountain bike trail running shoe. It's just not. Do one thing that's
Solomons.
dedicated for one thing, isn't it? That's it.
Well, they're not even hiking shoes that I use. I use trail running shoes because I bought them because I was trail running actually, and then I hurt my knee because I was running downhill, and then for some reason it just gave out, so I stopped trail running. And I just started using them for my hiking, and they've just been amazing. Never ever get a blister. Really good cushioning.
And how long you had them?
I've literally had them like 5 years, and this honestly they're
And I
starting
bet
to fall
they're still
apart.
going strong.
No,
aren't
they're
they?
starting to.
Really? Okay.
My little pinky toes have pushed through the corners. I've made a hole.
So you got shoehorns.
But they've done a lot of kilometers, so
That's
it's
it.
about time they need to be renewed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I've come
Too
into a
bad. They're
bit more
about
money.
70 quid or something for
Yeah.
a pair of Speed Cross now.
Yeah, you can go on online onto Price Runner as well, and they can find the best price for you as well. So it's great. So
they're not too
bad. But the
bad.
thing is, with listening to your body, when we both went in the water, you stayed in the water New Year's Day for what, maybe 60 seconds, would you say?
Yeah.
It's about a minute, wasn't it? And obviously, Natasha done it in a cold open lake in Denmark, whereas I done it in the sea in the Solent. So moving water is actually a little bit warmer than what she would have got into. But what did your brain say? You're allowed to swear because there's no kids up at this time.
No, well, actually, I did, because I've been practicing Wim Hof method. Mm-hmm. I sat and I did some breathing and putting myself into that mindset and telling my body, you're going to get in cold water now.
Yeah.
And actually, when I got undressed, I mean, I'm just standing there with just a little t-shirt, my bikini and my woolly hat while I was waiting to go in, and I was sat doing my breathing just in that. I felt fine. I didn't feel like my bare skin was affected by the air at all. Like, it just felt totally fine. So prepping my brain for, you're going to get cold now, I felt amazing just in the cold air with just my skin out. So when I got into the water, my feet and my legs absolutely fine, lowered. You know when your crutch hits the water and you go, whoo, that didn't really kick in.
Cool.
Fine with even up to the tummy. And then as I kind of pushed off of the steps and went back, as like the rest of my body went down, I suddenly just felt all the coldness of the water hit me. And it was a bit of a shock, and I still dunked my head under and I swam back.
Yeah, but that was your brain going into autopilot, because you're in the water, like you said before we started recording. The reason you put your head under is because what you would have done in the summer to get back to the ladder, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just doing
you weren't thinking. It just started,
forward.
didn't it?
Yeah, I just swum forward.
How did your body feel when it came out though? Obviously bitterly cold and and all that, but how quickly did you recover?
To be honest, it was instant.
Were you cold for most of the day, or were you?
No, I literally didn't feel cold as soon as I got out of the water.
No.
Like when I came out the water, I felt like there was electricity in my body and I didn't feel cold. So I just dried my skin off straight away. I had a towel ready as I came out. Even as I got out, I mean, you can see on the video if you go to our Facebook, I don't even put the towel around me to start with, because I'm just standing there and I just bent down. I'm like looking at my husband who's recording me. I was just like, oh my God, like I just did that and
I've done it.
I feel amazing and
Yep.
all this energy is in my body and I'm just standing there and I'm dripping wet and I'm not drying myself, but I felt great and I didn't feel cold. I just felt buzzing. And then afterwards I had blankets there and I got dressed straight away and
You did.
I had
Okay.
some hot chocolate with me.
That's a good idea.
In fact,
Yep.
and I felt actually completely toasty and fine again. The only thing that took a really long time to heat back up were my toes. My toes felt really cold.
Yeah.
And I don't think they warmed up till I had a hot shower when I got home.
But you enjoyed it, but you said you probably wouldn't do it in a hurry again.
It's not my cup of tea. I do like
No.
to be warm. So
This is what
keeping
we're
it to a
saying.
cold shower at the end of my warm shower is kind of my happy level.
So
But I
this is the
think
great thing about this podcast, isn't it? It's about, you've tried it. It wasn't your cup of tea. So
it's about finding
you know,
the right thing, right?
exactly, the right balance for you, the right
But
thing for you to do.
I've ticked it off the old bucket list, things to do before I
That's it.
die, right? And that's I like to scare myself once a year. So last year was the first time I did wild camping on my own. I've always been with somebody else.
Never done that yet. I'll have to try
so that I was really nervous to camp on my completely on my own in a forest, no one else with me. I slept with a knife just in case. No. I was fine. I actually did have a knife. Yeah, I did have a knife, but I always have a knife when I'm hiking.
That's not a knife.
That's not a knife.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Yeah, so last year was camping on my own for the night and felt good when I got up the next morning. I'm pretty proud of myself packing up my camp. And then this year I wanted to do the cold bathing. I've always seen people doing winter bathing and just thought they must be crazy. And they always tell me, but it's amazing. And then I just really thought,
be mental.
Before I die, I want to do it. And now I've done it. So there you go. How did you feel?
Both done it the same day.
Yeah.
Well, this is the weird part. I didn't think anyone would turn up because we put this event on, didn't we? On the Facebook page. And it was only me and you and one other person said, they were going to do it, wouldn't it? But I don't think that other person done it.
Say they would do it, but they didn't turn up, at least not to do it with you. And they certainly didn't post that they did it.
But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, as I started strutting my stuff to the beach, to the part of it, I'd done a bit of research. So I wouldn't recommend doing it without doing your research first. I made sure I knew how long I could stay in there for before my body would start going into a bit of a panic mode. I made sure I went to a part of the beach where it drops quite quickly. Because obviously if you go to the beach, sometimes you have to walk out for ages before you can even get under. And there was a very well-known coffee shop on the beach behind us, so anyone could go and get a warm drink or whatever while they're watching. And then there's toilets and a shower across the road. So I've done my research of where I want to go. And
you had people there.
This is the
never
thing.
Do this kind of thing on your own.
No. This is what I've been saying to a certain young lady today. Not to do it on her own, but she won't listen. So anyway, I started my stuff there, and I was getting pings from people. And a friend I used to go to school with said, "Is this still happening today?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, cool. I'll come down and watch." Well, no, he said, "I'll come down." And I just thought, he's going to watch. So he's going to bring his wife down and his kids down and just watch them on the beach. My brother was coming with his ex-girlfriend and the kids. A friend of mine turned up, and a couple of other people turned up on the beach as well. And all of a sudden, from thinking I was just doing it on my own, so there was like loads of people there. And then
you can't back out.
Exactly. I was like, shit, I am scared a little bit now because, I was worried about my blood pressure, my ticker and all that sort of stuff, and the coldness of the water. I've done a little bit of Wim Hofing, on the beach. I tried to walk as quickly as I could there to try and build up some nice body warmth, some body heat and all that. But by the time I'd waited for everyone to turn up on the beach because they're a bit delayed, that had just gone. But then when I saw Lee walking over towards him with a big bag and stuff, I was like, is he going to come in too? He came in and his little daughter came in as well, Lily, and they both had wetsuits on. So obviously we wouldn't encourage most children to go in just au naturel or whatever, like the way we did. They joined in and loads of people videoed it. There's hooping and the hollering and all that sort of stuff. It was brilliant. So that then got me going. Well, I'm doing this, and boom, straight in. and
That's
I
good.
loved it. Absolutely loved it. The only thing, like I said to you, that nothing hurt until I put my hands in. My hands went under, and they instantly felt frozen to start with, and then after about 2 seconds, felt like they were on fire.
Oh,
But
okay.
same as you, when I come out, everyone's like, "No, you need to go and get changed. Don't stand there in the cold stuff." So I was like, "No, I'm fine." Put my towel around me, and I'm like, "It's fine," chatting away in that. And then all of a sudden, you can feel the cold creeping in, and it's like, yeah, I'm cold now. So that's when I ran up and got
Okay. I
changed.
didn't
But
get that because I got dressed straight away.
so you done the better thing because you had a bikini on.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't want to wear a bikini because these guns aren't going to stay in too well. So I thought t-shirt and shorts, and I had my cycling shorts on underneath as well, just that extra bit of warmth. But believe it or not, I should have taken my t-shirt off because when you get out, you've still got a freezing cold t-shirt stuck to you. Where if you get out, you're bare chested, the water runs off you quicker.
And they
the
do
heat
actually
comes back.
say if you're doing like the proper ice, like out in the wild ice bathing, to not wear clothes into the water because that can stick to your skin and like cause you to have like ice burns and stuff. So don't do it.
But we both love it, even though our brains said not to do it. We both just went for it, didn't we? So that's what.
Funny enough,
what the
though,
exercise should be about.
It's kind of spurred me that like we have a lot of snow right now in Denmark. So I'm actually wondering whether tomorrow I might go and roll in the snow. Like, you know, we're in my underwear as I would just get out there and just roll around.
Do it.
Because I think that'd be quite refreshing. Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Get it all over.
But a friend of mine done it a couple of years ago, and that was a picture of Facebook of her doing it. And it was like, you're mental, but she done it completely starkers. And it's when we had like a good 3 or 4 inches of snow as well, and she just like plonk straight in her front garden.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
So,
I'll keep some clothes on. I do get some stalkers every now and then. I don't want to do it stalkers. But I think listen not just to the body for kind of cues for when you are feeling pain, because you should check in with your body. Yes. But the main point here is it's mind over matter. It's mindset, because there's a lot of time when we're doing exercises. When I was doing the Freeletics app, even though it was constantly the same routines over and over again, and it was like, this is getting boring. The biggest wall that you have to get over with Freeletics is it's really hard. And you get not even halfway through and you feel like you are sweating, you feel like you've got nothing left. But then what happens is you just keep pushing through, and then you realize that your brain tells you to stop before your body needs to really stop. And it was a massive learning curve for me, and even my husband was doing it at the time. We both agreed, like, wow, like this is incredible how much your brain just goes, Nana, you need to stop. I'm tired and you need a break, and this is getting hard and I don't want to do this anymore, and I'm bored, and but I'd like to go in and just get showered.
It was hurting? It did.
But you're not in pain. You're not in pain. You can still do it, and you're doing it slow. Like, you know, you're doing a climber where you're doing one leg and I'm going, breath, right, okay, next leg, you know, and it's hard, but you can still do it, right? And you get to the end and it's maybe taken you twice as long as you thought it would normally take you, but you did it, and you're standing there like, I did it.
The accomplishment as well, that feeling of when you actually done it as well, it's like so good, isn't it? It's so like rewarding.
And no athlete, right? No athlete ever stands there at the beginning of the line and is thinking, not really feeling it today. Like that doesn't go through.
No, that
not really
their
feeling
mind.
Like a winner this morning.
No,
nobody does that.
Don't worry about it today. No, you can't have that mindset. So you know, that's a massive step up from where I am in my exercise regime at the moment. But Christmas Eve, as you know, I rode up to Waterlooville in Denmead, and where I live, there's a big hill called Portsdown Hill, and it is grueling for even fit people to ride up there.
I've never cited it, and I've never wanted to.
it's hard work, isn't it? It looks quite steep and it's hard work. And I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to try. My brain said, no, you can't do that. You're too chubby. Rah, rah, rah. No, no, no. But then I thought to myself, right, I'll try and get to a certain point. Then I'll try and get to the next point. So then my logical brain was kicking in, going, right, if you can get to Chalk Ridge Road now, and then get to that bus stop, and then basically you've done it. And it's like, before I knew it, I'd done it. And I was like, oh, great. The only time I actually felt bad on that ride, we done, that's 3 hills in a row doing that ride up there. It was the ride from Waterville to Denmead. You don't realise in a car that it's constantly uphill, slightly uphill, all the way to Denmead Village. And then it drops down a little bit. So it's constantly up. So you're pedaling, and there was a real good headwind as well. That was a struggle. But
that's hard.
The ride back, same as going up a hill, what goes up must come down. So there's going to be fun at one side of it, isn't there? So I loved it. But
it's interesting. I think it's an adult brain. Brilliant. It's an adult brain that goes, I can't do this most of the time, because I remember when I used to play hockey, I remember playing a match that I remember it being windy, and I remember it being really hard work, and most of the time we were playing against the wind, but I didn't really think about it. And the next day when I got up to walk, like to get up for school, I actually collapsed on the floor. My calf muscles wouldn't work. And basically what I'd done was I'd overworked my calf muscles so much, they were completely seized, and I just couldn't I had to take the day off school. It felt really lame, but I couldn't, like,
the day off,
I couldn't
just
straighten
walk your hands.
Yeah, of course, walking to school with my hands. I just couldn't walk. It was the most bizarre thing. I'd never had it in my life.
I think you're right. I think we
when
get
you're
that
a kid,
fear factor when we get older, don't we?
Yeah, and you just
get a fear factor kick in.
Don't know if my body can do that now. I'm getting a bit
old. There's too much but when I used to go mountain biking in the woods and on trails and trail centres and that sort of stuff, you see like these young uns just flying through, and I was fast on the normal, straights and stuff like that. But when it comes to the downhill sections, I think to myself, when I was working, obviously, if I come off on that corner where he's just gone really fast round, I'm off work for 2 or 3 weeks. And that's not going to be good. And your adult brain, like you say, does kick in and goes, nah, I'll take it a bit slower. And then
I still get it now with climbing.
In some things, doesn't it? It shouldn't with some things, but it still does. Your adult logic kicks in too much. Maybe we should let our kid logic kick in a little bit more. Maybe that's what
I get it with climbing still. Like, I'll look at something that I've maybe got to do a little bit of a kind of what we call a dynamic move, which is where you have to kind of jump to the next grip. So it's not just a clean reach and grab it. You've got to do a bit of a jump. And I'll look at it and be like, that's a really long way. Don't think I can make that. And you just start telling yourself straight away, I don't think I can make it. If I miss it, what if I fall? You start looking at other grips around. Am I going to face pan something that I don't want to? You start thinking about what's going to hurt instead of just doing it, right? And then then if you miss, you go, oh, well, I nearly got it. I reckon if I actually committed more to the next jump, I could get it, Mind over matter, everybody. It's a big one.
You've got to push it, haven't you?
Which actually will take us nicely into segment 3, when you say push it, about goal setting. You call it goal setting, I call it challenges. Oh,
well, yeah. Again, the challenge on Facebook at the moment for us is the step challenge, and that is a challenge, but it's also trying to get people outside their comfort zone as well, isn't it? So, but my goals are still set in stone. Excuse the pun, weight pun there. But that was lame.
Well, you have weight goals, so I guess that is a goal, not a challenge.
Yeah, so the goal for me is just to extend my... so at the moment, we're not allowed to go out of our general area for exercise. We have to stay in a certain area. So I'm not allowed to go out of Portsmouth. So I can't go into the countryside and things like that. That's not an issue, because you can still get some decent mileage in. So I thought
we don't have that over here. I do.
No, we're not. So we wouldn't be allowed to drive to, say, the woods or something to walk the dogs or anything like that. We're not allowed to.
Really?
We have to stay in our certain areas.
Right, don't have that.
Bit more of a house arrest sort of thing than you guys. But
town arrest.
Luckily, we've got so many nice routes and tracks and in the city anyway that you're safe, you're away from the traffic and all that sort of stuff. So it's good. So all I've done is extended it by going up towards, where I'd normally cut off and do the top of the island. I've gone up a little bit further using the hill involved, which I spoke about earlier, going up Farlington Avenue, which is a real steep arsehole of a hill, and then along the top of the hill and then back down the bit, and then extends it by about 3 miles. But
I have noticed on your Strava, your new route. If you want to follow us on Strava as well, actually.
We're on Strava, don't you know? And it's great because you can extend it a little bit. Cinto. I'd love a Cinto watch. Cinto, give me a watch,
I'll get you one
please.
for your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, you just had it. Sorry.
Just had my birthday.
Wait till the end of the year again.
Goal setting really is, as people are listening to the current episode that's out at the moment, episode 8.
Episode 8 went out.
Yeah. Episode 8, which is about our food diaries. Now, I did pick a bad week for me, and Natasha eats like a saint most of the time anyway. I've completely changed my way. So my goal for food this year is a lot better. I'm drinking cranberry juice, which is a litre of that a day now, at least a litre of water. I've cut out cherry Coke. I do have a bottle now and again. I'm not going to ever get rid of it. But I don't feel the need for it so much anymore, which is great.
I think, make it like a treat, like you would have maybe a cider once in a while.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The same thing.
It's an acquired taste, cranberry juice. It's not the nicest drink in the world, but when it's really, really cold and you're exercising, you guzzle it down, it's brilliant. And
have you noticed anything different? Like,
yeah, my wee's purple.
Is it?
No. But it sorted my wee out straight away because I was having problems with that, and I'm open about talking about everything like that as well.
It's good for
cloudy wee
infections.
Yeah, it's good for urinary tract infections as well. It's really, really good for if you've got type 2 diabetes. It's really good for that. I haven't, thankfully. It's good at reducing blood pressure as well. So, I've got a blood pressure problem.
This is so good.
It is so good. And again, it's cheap at the moment because a lot of the good for you stuff is a little bit cheaper in the supermarket. So that's really good. But my main goals this year are around my energy that I put into myself rather than the energy I'm spending on myself. Because now I'm cycling, walking, and hopefully swimming pretty soon as well. The one thing I need to add to that, which is I've said 1,000 times over, you don't really need to do, but I want to get into the gym. I really want to get into the gym and start lifting some weights and doing, because my legs are getting really, really good. My arms and this part of me is still not great because I'm not really testing that out at the moment. So to get back into the gym would be fantastic to do just upper body stuff mainly, and then still work on my legs as well. But that's my main goal, is to get into the gym, start lifting, and I've got some weights in mind where I want to get to on my arms.
But while the gym's closed, you could do some actual like body weight exercises, like push-ups and
Yep. I'm a bit off of push-ups at the moment, so I've been cheating a little bit and doing the cross arm ones, which is still doing something. My arms are very, very weak for a guy of my size. My legs are very, very strong. My back's really strong as well. But a friend of mine has a background in bodybuilding as well, and he did get quite big at one point naturally as well, I might add. He's set up a gym in his back garden before the very first lockdown, so he timed it perfectly right, because now gym equipment over here is just so hard to get. Even secondhand old stuff is like stupidly expensive. So it's just ridiculous. So
gym equipment and games consoles are like the two hardest things to get your hands on now.
Oh, crumbs. Here it's bicycles. Like it's even like a terrible, like, I don't know, 20-year-old mountain bike. You're looking at maybe 80 quid over here now. Really? Whereas before they were 20 quid, if maybe, or even thrown away sort of thing. But going back to what Steve-O said, he said, you've got tins of food in the house, haven't you? And I was like, yeah, of course I have tins of food. He said, it's all about
repetition,
doing a proper curl with it, slow and steady. And even with that, it doesn't weigh hardly anything. What, 400 grams, something like that? But you can feel after a while, if you do the proper movements, you can actually feel a little bit of resistance there as well. So
also like your empty bottles, those little half litre
Yeah.
bottles, so you can fill them with water, and
Yeah, of course you can.
they
Or
make
if you
good
live next to the
dumbbells.
sea, if you live next to the sea like me, you can take a bigger bottle, fill it up with sand, and then you've got more resistance there as well. So there's
Yeah.
other things you can do, but personally, I want to get onto some big weights.
Yeah.
And just
Okay,
get
so your goals are you'd like to get in the gym
but
because
my
you've already.
food goals are bigger than my exercise goals this year.
Okay, so food goals
Getting
and
the
gym.
right things in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
So like we talked about before and after a workout, I've never done anything before or after, even thinking it's just walking or it's just cycling. You should be doing a before prep and after prep on food, no matter what exercise you're doing. If you're going to exert yourself, you should do it
Yeah.
with both of them. So, which again, you've told me a million times over, and sometimes I need to kick up the butt from a certain someone to actually recognise what I should be doing. So, fair play to you. You said it from the get-go. So.
Yeah, but I think because I often listen to you talking, and then I think, do I even do that? I don't know, because I've been doing this all for so long. I don't really look at it now as
60 years now, ladies and gentlemen.
as amazing if I'm 60. Jesus.
Well, that's the Danish air for you.
I don't look at it now as like I'm doing a before and after, because now it's just my routine. So if I'm going to go on a hike, even if it's just a couple of hours and it's not a full day hike, I always just make sure that I eat something not right before I walk out the door, because then I'll get a stomach ache as I'm walking.
Yep.
But that my breakfast, because I like to start in the morning if I go for a walk, so I'll get up and I'll make sure I'll have like a couple of slices of peanut butter on toast, so that I've got a bit of protein in there, and I'll have a lot of water and drinks and stuff so that I can get my body hydrated. Go burn, do a walk and come home, and I'm often hungry then when I come home, because I've not, I eat every 2 hours.
Do you meal prep though? Would there be something ready for you when you got back?
No, because it's so quick what I eat. I normally for lunch I have rye bread with avocado on, or a wrap, and that's just like get it out, fill it with some salad and eat it. And
gangster.
It's so quick to eat, so I don't prep. I never meal prep, and we're a family of 4 here, so I can't be bothered to meal prep. We wing it.
So like we said earlier, I've started taking a flapjack with me, which is I'm not gonna say the brand again, Grays. It's on special offer at the moment in Sainsbury's. So get over there and get some of them. The lemon drizzle one is fantastic. It's low in calories, low in sugar, high in protein and fiber as well, which is really, really good.
Love a good lemon drizzle.
And it's really nice to have something on your walk. And I thought I didn't need it, but now it's like it's just common now. So been watching some of the strongmen of what they're eating as well. That is ridiculous. 20,000.
Do you get influenced actually?
Me,
like your goal setting. You've now been talking about the gym a lot lately, but you've also been watching the strongman stuff.
Yeah.
And I've noticed I think the cranberry juice you started drinking because you said that one of the strong. Yeah.
But the cranberry juice, when I looked into it, what it can do for you and all that sort of stuff, it's brilliant. I've got my mum onto cranberry juice. My brother's now drinking it for his diabetes, and 2 other friends of mine are now drinking it reluctantly because it's not great tasting.
But don't you feel like after you've been drinking it for a while, you start to kind of get used to the taste?
Oh yeah, I switched
and then you start to actually miss it if you don't have it.
Yeah, massively. So Eddie has the sugar-free option, which I bought the other day, which is nice, but the full fat one's better. It's not high in calories or anything like that, so it's good. But he puts in, the hydration tablets. He puts one of them in there as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
And he has a shot of this powder stuff in there as well, and so he shakes it all up. So his is slightly different to what mine tastes like, but it's just. Every time of year, this time of year, Christmas time, when World's Strongest Man comes on, I am literally hooked to every single one of them, right? They're all huge, they're all massive, and then you see what they go through, the ripped tendons, ripped biceps and stuff, and, lots of damage and stuff like that. And I always say every year, I'm going to do that. But this year, I actually am going to do it. I'm actually going to try and get big. I know it sounds daft being big, but I want to be big for the right reason.
No, but like muscular rather than fat.
I still need to drop, the guy I spoke to said I still need to drop about 4 stone. before I can start thinking about putting muscle
Right.
weight on instead.
So your goals this year are get your diet in order. Now that we've done the
Yep.
diet journal, it was really
Yep.
helpful for you to really see where it was all
And it's helpful for
going to
everyone
shit.
to start, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Diet in order, and actually even help me because I notice how much I will eat biscuits and things like that. And I want to actually, I don't want to lose weight that much, but I certainly see where I could stop eating some little cheat things.
There's areas to get things,
to just nip it in the bud and maybe tone up the body a bit better. And also you want to one day get in the gym.
One day.
Corona stops. Otherwise, you've got some little tricks with, like you say, your tins and doing some just body weight exercises.
Whatever we can at the moment, isn't it? Whatever we can. I'm let's try yoga as well, and we're going to try some other things as well. So that's good. Out of my comfort zone.
I don't really have goals. Like I said, I set myself challenges because I don't have a goal weight that I want to be, and I don't beat myself up for trying to look like I should have a summer body all year round. I'm just trying to enjoy life, and through enjoying life, I keep myself fit because I like doing that. So it kind of works hand in hand. So I don't have goals. I just give myself challenges. Like last year when Corona hit, I just looked at my husband and went, I can't stay in. This is good to kill me because I'm an outdoor person. So I set myself the challenge of hiking the Pilgrim route in Denmark. So that's what I do. I go, ooh, what challenge can I set myself this year? This year I've already done a challenge. I jumped in that lake and did a New Year's Day. Yeah, Wim Hof. I'm doing the Wim Hof challenge, the 30-day audio challenge, and cold water showering and stuff like that. So I give myself challenges.
What other challenge are you doing this month?
This month?
Yeah.
Oh, the steps challenge. There's not very long left on the steps challenge.
No, so when this goes out, it'll be towards the end of that anyway. So, but we will have something in place for February, and
we are doing virtual hikes.
Every month.
We understand, obviously, with Corona that we can't meet up. So while we can't meet up, because we were wanting to do meeting up hikes, that we would meet up as groups and do it. So we're doing virtual hikes. So we try to start around the same time. Some people are on different time zones. Maybe if the weather's really bad in the morning, but nicer in the afternoon, you can push it. So it's not set in stone, but we set a minimum distance, and then people just do that minimum, or they do whatever they want to do above.
What's it set at? 8K, isn't it?
It's normally 8 kilometers, which is about 5 miles. Which seems to be quite a good distance. A lot of people
about 10,000 steps
can crack on that one. I normally do about 12 because I can't really feel 8, so I like to go further.
Can't really feel 8.
You can't feel 8.
Can't feel 8, mate.
So now that we've kind of established some goals, you've got your goals. I don't really have goals. I have challenges, but I do have one goal actually. I'm doing my yoga training, aren't I? So I do have a bit of a goal there.
Crack on with that.
And as soon as I've got some goodies, I will try to do some videos and things that can help our viewers and followers out. And also just really, that's a wrap. And I think if the best advice I can give is go check us out on Facebook, because that's where everything really happens, events that you can get involved in, and we would like to hear stories from people. So we would like to be getting more feedback from our followers. If you have any weight transformation stories that you want to tell us, or in either direction, that you either gained a lot of weight and you were wanting to lose it, or you did a miraculous change and you're now super slim. Whichever way it went, we would love to hear from our followers. So go find us on Facebook, Fat Brain, Thin Brain. Just type that in. Dead easy. Thanks, Lewis.
So that is us done, isn't it, Natasha?
It is us done.
We're done for another day. We're done for another episode. That's episode 9 in the can.
Yes.
And we are now going to go our separate ways. separate ways and then move on. I'd like to give a shout out to Natasha, so at Lloyd-Vest on Instagram. We haven't got an Instagram page anymore. We've taken that down just to focus on purely on the Facebook page.
Yes.
And you can follow me at Fat Guy Walks as well. Another person I'd like you to just have a little look at, if you can, you've got 5 minutes, is at Walk Yourself Fit. Brilliant podcaster. Instagrammer, and she's on topic, she's on form, she's got loads of followers, and she's really great as well. So give her a check out as well. That's us. We'll see you next week, next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.